Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Which mic are we using? Holy cow. All right. Amnon, Dave, Rudy, Edward. Good day. Good day, good day. We are still putting the studio together. It's going to be interesting. Let's just put it that way. It's already interesting, actually. Happy 4th of July. I tell you what, freedom is a wonderful thing. I mean, this whole live streaming thing is like freedom. Just amazing. Amazing. Ovenas is here. Welcome. Glad to have you from Poland, I believe. We're here in the States. It is 4th of July, our annual celebration of our independence and our freedom. And this is coming to you live from our new studio. I'll give you a sneak peek of just set up, really quickly set up some cams to show off some of the treatment that we're using for not really for anything other than just trying to capture sound. Oh, Germany, my bad. Image is fuzzy. Well, there's no surprise there. The guy's old. Vitali Justice is here. Timothy's here. Okay. Dave, which image is fuzzy? Is it this one? Oh, his browser defaulted to 144p. Well, that'll do it. That will do it for sure. That will do it for sure. Still in the process of putting this place together. You know, it's funny after getting used to, I live streamed, let's see, clap. It defaults to 144, that's why it's fuzzy. Clap? I don't think that has anything to do with it, but that will tell you if my lip sync is on, which I haven't done other than just do the clap test a few minutes ago. Dave's browser anticipated issues. Well, with this show, your browser's pretty smart because we're going to have issues today. We're going to have issues. But it's fun. Amnon wants to hear how the echo is. Well, let's listen. Is there an echo? Dave says the lip sync is off. Well, we can fix that. I did hung a bunch of material. Absolutely. Oh, that echo. I thought you meant the real echo, the echo that you really do hear. Yeah, we'll be going through that in just a second. Dave says the lip sync is off. It's set for 150, I think. Let's see. Let's go back and review. Well, let's set it for 200 and see what happens. All right, let's try that. So that's 50 milliseconds difference. It was 150 delayed before, now it's delayed by 200 milliseconds. Vitali says it's just fine. Lip sync is in the ear of the beholder, shall we say. All right, Dave can distinguish a difference of 50 milliseconds. I thought it might, you know how it's one of those things, it's like tuning a guitar. You know, sometimes you can tell it's off, but is it too high or too low? And it's like audio, you know, I can tell something's not right, but is it too early or too late? Yep. Let's see, we need to adjust this little shot here and get me back centered. Dun, 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 dun. Position. Tom main cam, so we just, there we go. Now I feel better. So Dave, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you. When are you going to come on the show? You haven't ever been on the show. Amnon's been on the show a bunch of times. Dave has never been on the show. Texas Mike is here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And, coming up August, let me see, let me grab the date. August, August 4th. You'll want to mark your calendar for August 4th because that's Streamfest. And that's going to be 12 or 14 hours of live streaming from all over the world. It's really going to be great. And that is a project of the world of live streaming. Dave said he was invited to, but got cut by the producer. Whoops. Sorry about that. We'll have to work on that. Dave's on the West Coast, but he used to live in North Carolina. Happy 4th, Texas Mike. Yes, indeed. John T. is here. Welcome. Glad to have you. The studio is not officially open yet here, but I have already had some folks come by, and I've got somebody coming by again this afternoon. So let's see. Interesting. I've got to calibrate these monitors. I'm a different color on each one. How about that? I tell you what, since we've got a nice intimate group today, take a second if you would and tell everybody else where you're from and what kind of stuff you live stream. And we'll get to know each other just a little better. And my name's Tom. And I am from, currently from Fairhope, Alabama, which is where the studio is today and has been for the last 8 years. And I need to turn the air conditioner off, don't I? Wow, I bet that's some of the problem. Hang on a second. Let me disconnect here. I don't know why I'm plugged up to audio, but it's reassuring to hear my own voice in my own ears. Hang on a second. Okay, let's go turn that air conditioner off. How do you get out of here? It's a maze. Okay, that's right. A streamaholic, indeed. Confession is good for the soul. Congratulations to Belgium so far, I think. I think they're still in the World Cup. The U.S. didn't make it that far. Germany didn't make it out of the match play. Yes, indeed. And let's see, Kiwi Chris is here. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you. So the AC will run itself out in just a second. Let's see. I'm Tom. I'm from Fairhope, Alabama. I live stream. Currently, the only thing that I'm live streaming actively is this show. But, oh, well, no, that's not true, because I live stream our church's services on Sunday mornings. So, here we go. Amnon found the AC that has no noise whatsoever. Ha! That's great. It's been a pleasure to be in the studio for the last 2 months. That's awesome. Raleigh, North Carolina is not a cool place. I mean, it's a cool place, but it's hot. Rich is here. Welcome, Rich. The 4th coming on a Wednesday is kind of weird, you know? Do you take the whole week off? At least for those of you in the U.S. Do you take the second part of the week off? Do you take the first part of the week off? Or you like me and you take part of the week off? Well, I took this morning off. Rich is from Camden, South Carolina. They video everything from TV commercials to weddings to church services to a lot of sports. We do have a 24-hour streaming channel. Ooh, well done. At www.watchsc.tv that is currently replaying high school baseball from our past season and has also shown our town's kids' 4th of July parade we streamed this week. That's cool, Kirk. That's cool. I really think there's a tremendous opportunity for localized live streaming. I really do. But the problem with it is the events that you tend to want to live stream are going to be, nights and weekends events when you want to spend time with your family. So it's that hard balance. Vitali says, if you think it's hot in North Carolina, come to Odessa, Texas. Yeah, but it's dry heat. All right. Elmar from Germany in Europe. Yes, we needed that part. Doesn't stream live. He only talks about it. Well, that's okay. You're pretty knowledgeable about it, I have noticed. Okay, well, if you're just joining us, we are in the pre-show, and we're getting ready for the show in just a second. We're just chatting about in chat. If you're wondering what in the world is the chat, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com right down there at the bottom, and join us. Just click the Watch Live tab, and you'll get there. And then you can see the chat and join us for the chat. And if you feel like it, you can register for our newsletter. Well, it's not really a newsletter. It's just sort of periodic postings. Yeah, periodic postings. Oh, Amnon got a mini split. Oh, yeah, that's cool. It's got an outside compressor unit and an inside condenser unit. And the condenser unit is much quieter than like a window unit. There we go. I like it. Somehow I've allowed YouTube to send me notifications, and they pop up all the time. John Kraft is here. Oh, Chris is streaming local car slub races. I have never seen a car slub. I think that means a car club. I don't know. They have car clubs that race? That's cool. $1,400 in Texas for air conditioning. Well, it's supply and demand. There's probably a huge demand out there. Mike Phillips. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the humidity in Texas was 98% yesterday, so not so dry. I guess it depends on where in Texas you are. All right, Jim Moline's here. Hey, Jim. Haven't talked to you in forever. That doesn't mean call me now, though. Martin K. is here. Hello, Martin. Tommy Willis is here from right up the street. Mike is here from JPEG to RAW. Rod from the UK is here. Saeed is here. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Jim said he's here. We can start now. That's good. I don't have a phone in my studio today. Actually, I left it at home. We're coming to you live from the new studio, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. And we've been here officially, well, unofficially, we've been here for months. But we've just gotten this studio rolled out in the last couple of weeks. All right, Timothy's in Oceanside, California today. But Timothy's a road guy. He's a road warrior. He will be on. Kiwi Chris says that his car race will be on Facebook at Video Hub NZ. Cool. I like racing. And Omar is a MIDI control label specialist. Ooh, cool, dude. And he posted some pictures. Vitali says, you're a wise man. Play it like you left it home on purpose. Yeah, that's right. My wife sent me a Facebook message here online on the second monitor and said, did you know you left your phone here? I'm like, whoops, nope. Nope. Okay. Again, a greeting to those of you watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, directly on YouTube. We would invite you to come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com. That way you can get on the chat. We got a bunch of folks in chat, and they're having a big old time. And we would love to have you come join the party. It's kind of a low-key kind of show day. It's 4th of July. Well, it's 4th of July everywhere, but here in the U.S. it has special meaning. It's our Independence Day. And so we celebrate freedom and continue to. So I tell you what, I think I've got all my shortcuts worked out. So we're going to try to get this show on the road. John Kraft will be live streaming the trial of a judge next week if the trial kicks in like it should. Well, John, post a link so that we can take a peek. Or better yet, if you, and this is a general invitation to anybody that's watching right now, please join our Streaming Idiots Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/streaming idiots, or just go to Facebook and search Streaming Idiots. And there are a couple thousand of us on there that are streaming idiots, and we have all sorts of great conversations about streaming and gear and software and problems and workflow and stuff like that. So if you've been looking for a community to join that knows about live streaming, you're welcome to Streaming Idiots. The only thing we ask is that you answer a few questions and give us your email address so that we can spam you every other minute of the day. No, not really, but so don't forget that email address. That's the key to getting into the Streaming Idiots group. If you've tried to get in before and you've never been accepted, it's probably because you didn't give us an email address. It's required. Plus, we want to know that you're a responsible citizen of the world. There we go. All right, Dan says he's going to be across the bay from me next week on Dauphin Island. Whoa, all right. Well, let's get some weather from Dauphin Island. Sam is a huge weather guy. And in fact, Sam, at some point in the future, when things slow down for him, he's going to come on the show and talk about how he does his weather shows. Very cool. All right. What have I missed? Anything? Nope. Okay, at some point you just have to pull the plug. And, I know what we want to do. We want to do a quick, now that the AC has turned itself off, I want to do a quick mic test and shift around with a couple of different mics. Because I was doing it earlier, and, I've got my opinion, but I wanted to get your opinion. I'm not through with the sound treatment here, and so, I think we're still going to pick up some room noise, but that's okay. The idea is that I want to, again, I'm testing it, still testing out some mics. So the mic that we're on right now is my Audio-Technica AT897, which is the boom mic right above us up here. And I love this mic. In fact, it's probably too high. I could probably bring it in a little closer. Maybe it wouldn't get so much room noise. There it is right there. So let's bring it out just a little more. And then maybe a little angle down. A little angle down. Like that. There we go. There we go. Pretend like it's a flashlight and aim it at my mouth. There we go. Boom. Right there. Actually, that's my bottom lip. Let's go up just a tad more. There we go. All right. So that's the Audio-Technica AT897. And so let's switch. And we're going to go to the Audio-Technica ATR 2100. That's the desktop mic here on the desktop. And then the third is the lav mic, which is an old Shure mic attached to an old Audio-Technica receiver and transmitter, or transmitter and receiver. Probably it's the kind that was outlawed because they're on the emergency channels. So if all of a sudden you start hearing a 911 call, Rudy says the first one is better. Really? Interesting. Thank you, Rudy. All right. So Rudy voted for the ATR has a bit of hiss. Well, actually, they're all ATRs. Let me rephrase that. The first one was an AT897, but from Audio-Technica. The ATR 2100 is we'll go back to that one. We'll turn off the lav and turn on the ATR 2100. This is the one, okay, this is the one that has the hiss. That's interesting. And then we'll go back to the boom, which is the AT897. That's the one Rudy says he likes. First one versus the third one. The first one has more sound. Well, the first one is my preference, Rudy. It really is. I think I'm going to use the lav mic a little bit today because I'm going to walk around a little bit during the show. So that's very helpful, very helpful. Okay, let's see who else. Todd's here. Hey, Todd. And who else has slipped in? Guest 619, welcome. Kent's here. I just talked to Kent yesterday. Kent, I don't know that I was able to help your guys out, but I was able to fix some things they didn't know were wrong. Texas Mike says the boom sounds better. All right. And it hears something running, maybe the PC. Boy, does it ever. Boy, does it ever. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have a shot that I'm going to be able to show you guys on that? Yes. So we'll get to that in just a second when we do the... Jim says the boom sounds best even though you can hear a little AC on that one. Actually, what you hear is a PC fan. Kiwi Chris says the boom is the best. Okay, well, let's go with that one. So we're going to take the Audio-Technica out of the way. The ATR 2100, which is a great little dynamic mic. I really like it. But I like the boom better because I don't have to touch it. It's not on the desktop. It doesn't get in the way. And let's see. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So let's get the show on the road. Last invitation. Well, not really. But if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com. I keep pointing right there. That's my name. But below that and below that is the URL. And you can get in on the chat and you can register to have me spam you with emails. So, with an invitation like that, who can resist, right? I get it. All right, just checking the list again, see if anybody else just slipped in under the wire. Oh, guest 619, I was just going to mention to you that, number one, we're delighted you're here. And that 619, we would assume it has some particular meaning for you. So if you want to share what meaning it has in your life. I think Martin was guest 442 for a while. Vitaly Justice says, I've never gotten an email from you. Well, maybe you just signed up lately. I haven't sent an email in about a week or two. But I'll send you one today, just so you don't feel left out. Tommy wants to know if I've tested the Campbell's soup can yet. Actually, Tommy, I'll tell that story another time. All right, let's see. Last check, make sure anybody hadn't slipped in. Unnoticed, unappreciated. Oh, there we go. And it's Popoletron. Popolectron. There we go. Popolectron. Welcome. Glad to have you. Sounds like an interesting name. Love to hear the backstory. Vital Justice says, been here since last year sometime. Well, then maybe we didn't get your email address at that point. Go to easternshorebroadcasting.com, says Vitaly Justice, and sign up. That way you'll get in on all the stuff. Otis says it's flooding in Houston. That's no good. It flooded in Houston, 2 years ago in April? I remember I was flying out, or supposed to fly to NAB, and they wouldn't let us fly into Houston because the airport was underwater. That was 2016. All right, so welcome, Otis. And anyone else that's just joined us. If you're just joining us and you're saying, where's the show? Well, the show's starting a little late today. Sorry about that. But we're trying to get there. Okay. Pope Electron is his Dutch channel, was playing around with Chatwing. It's really Rudy. Oh, okay, Rudy. Very good. I think somebody asked earlier if you could get Chatwing into vMix Social. And the answer is not at this time. I don't know that there are any plans to, but I know that it just doesn't work right now. I use Chatwing because it's the path of least resistance. I've used it for a long time. It's at this point it's free and mostly reliable. Occasionally it'll pop out. And one day when I have extra time that I'm not doing anything else with, I will try to find a chat that I can integrate into vMix Social so that we can pop all that stuff down here. All right. So, with no further ado, Dave O is here. Welcome, Dave O. Glad to have you. Kenny's here. Hey, Kenny. Taking the day off, I hope. Hope not working at the school. And who else? Did I miss anybody else on the list? My apologies if I did. All right, let's get, looks like all guys today, but, Dewey's here. Hey, Dewey. Thanks for your kind words on Facebook the other day. The boom sounds best. Good, thank you. I like the boom best. All right, let's get this show on the road. And one last time, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to Streaming Idiots. Well, you can come to streamingidiots.com, and that'll take you to easternshorebroadcasting.com. And you can get it on the chat and register for the register to be spammed by me on an irregular basis. Okay, so let's see. I redid my shortcuts the other day. If I did them right, then I should.
Hang on a second.
I should have everything. Oh, Mike's here. Hey, Mike, I didn't see you slip in there. Sometimes people will be here, but for some reason you don't show up on my list. So if that's the case and I've missed you, I apologize. Very good. Okay, Rudy's looking into it, Mike. So if Rudy's got it. He's what we would call here in the States a bulldog. So step out of the way. You're going to get run over. I redid my shortcuts this week, and I think I've got them right. So let's see if I push the part 1 button. Oh, isn't that something? I need to redo one more shortcut. I need to redo my sneeze button because I always have to sneeze. So let's find it right there, number 78. Okay. And let's see if we're using it for something. 78, 78, 78. No, we're not. Okay, so let's add a shortcut. Find. Oh, it's 79 now. Okay. And the function is, can we just turn all audio off? Well, we'll take audio. And we'll just do it for the boom mic right now. And there's the boom mic. It really helps if you rename your inputs in vMix a name that makes sense so that when you go to create a shortcut or a trigger or something like that, you don't just have, you know, some crazy number that doesn't mean anything or the name of something that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so let's test that one. That worked great. Okay, so I got a cough button here. All right, so with no further ado, well, we'll look down the list one more time, see if anybody's joined us. Doesn't look like it. All right. Tommy used the vMix split stream Sunday, stream the service to Facebook, and then stream the sermon to YouTube. Oh, cool. Good job, Tommy. I like it. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's have a go at it. Yeah. That didn't do much, did it? Oh, what did I do? Huh. Let's go back. And can we try to fix it? Restart. Huh. Well, doggone. And I thought I fixed it. All right, looks like the mic is in the shot just a tad. There we go. Yeah, you'll barely notice the mic right there. Okay. Well, doggone it, I thought I had fixed all that stuff. How about that, man? Go figure. See if the end. Okay, we'll try the end one. Yeah, the closing's working, but for some reason the opening isn't. All right, I tell you what, let's just pretend like this is kind of an open workshop. And I'll share my screen with you and we'll see if we can't all fix this together. How about? So let's do a desktop capture, and we're going to take, let's take the screen, the whole monitor. So desktop capture, don't want NDI, we'll take the whole display. Okay, so this is my vMix desktop right now. And we are on the, down here in the bottom, in inputs, we're on the show tab. That's the red one. And I've got a vMix call tab, a frames tab, which I'm not using now, a graphics tab, which has got a lot of stuff in it, an audio tab, you can see all the different mics there, and my pre-show, post-show tab. So we'll go back to the show tab. Always save, export your shortcuts and activators and presets. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Good point. So what we want is we want a series of things to happen. So let's open a shortcut and see what. And Martin in vMix has put this new find button here. So I'm going to find, and it's going to be MIDI note off, channel 1, note 14, velocity 0. So 114. So here's 114. And 114 has got a fade to black, a preview input, a restart of the closing, a fade, and a fade from black. And you know what? It looked like the show, that's the series of shortcuts for 114. I don't think there are other 114s here. Let's scroll down the list. Yep, there's another one that says restart. That one doesn't make sense, so let's take that one out. Okay, so we'll look for another 114. Don't see it. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to use sharpen. That should help you guys see that a little better. And so we'll go back into, this is it, number 20 right here is virtual streaming idiot show open. And for some reason it's got a trigger that says on transition in cut direct to the main shot but delay 22,500 milliseconds. Okay, well that's right. That's right. So let's, well, let's just try again. Looks like it should work. Nope. I wonder if I've got the wrong. All right, that's number 80 right here. That's the show open right there. And number 20, so let's see if the shortcut is recognizing number 80. Nope. Okay, shortcut, that's, oh, that's the closing. Okay. Why is that? That should be the opening. Oh, that's the restart. Okay. Fade to black, preview input, show open, show open. And then we need to play number 80. So let's add, find, there. The function is going to be play. And the play is going to be number 80. Let's see if that'll work. Okay. Okay, so let's throw something else up there. We'll throw that up there for a second. And let's try again. Nope. Well, it's playing right there. Sorry about that. That was pretty loud. We'll have to work on that some more. Thought I had it working. How about that? All right, well then. Let's restart that. And what happens? Yeah, that just goes. What I was looking at was what was happening in this guy. Running him back to the beginning, it's supposed to open to a green screen. And then that would be the green screen that it would open to. Multi-view. Info products. Well, let's see. What if we go to 80 here, see if that works. And we're going to go to color adjust. Color key, rather. Okay. Try one more time. Nope. Didn't work. Didn't work. Alrighty. Well, we'll just have to fake it and go back and play with it. Yeah, shortcuts are taking a U.S. holiday. You know, what's really funny is I spent probably, I don't know, a couple hours with this earlier in the week and thought I had it. Obviously, I fixed it for the post show. I mean, for the out, but I didn't fix it for the in. So we'll just pretend, shall we? And we'll pretend by hitting the record button here. All right, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then we'll start the show, okay? Okay, here we go. Whoops. Hey, it's Tom Sinclair. Welcome to Streaming Idiots. Yes, we're the show where things sometimes work right and sometimes don't work right. It's kind of funny. I was playing with the opening, you know, the jaws of death that opened every time, and for some reason it what the work I did the other day, I must not have saved it. That's probably what it was. I just didn't save my preset. So anyway, they're saying in the chat room, we're not supposed to laugh, but gonna laugh. It's the 4th of July here in the United States. We're celebrating our independence and our freedom today, and people all over the country are having picnics and taking short vacations since it's kind of a Wednesday. You know, do you take the whole week off? Do you take the first part of the week or the second part of the week? Well, I took the morning off, and so didn't want to not have a show since our regular show day on Wednesdays. So I want to welcome you if you're watching us live. Had quite a few folks watch us live, and then. For those of you who are watching us later on Facebook or YouTube, we're delighted to have you too. We hope if you're watching us on YouTube that you'll subscribe, and that maybe you'll even come over to Facebook to our Streaming Idiots Facebook group and join the Facebook group. Just go to Facebook and search for Streaming Idiots, or you can go to YouTube and search for Streaming Idiots for that matter, and subscribe to both of them. So we hope you'll do that. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll get notified. We won't spam you in or anything like that, but you will get notes when we're going to. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied here on a Wednesday. You will get notes of when we have a show scheduled. So that's one of the beauties of it, so that you know, so you can say, oh golly, I better stay away from the internet today. I don't want to watch that show. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the new studio. It's kind of a DIY studio, do it yourself. If you have thought, boy, I'd like to build a studio, well then, come along with us, because over the next several weeks, we're going to do some updates on what's going on here in our studio. We have moved the studios into a commercial location so that we can let other folks come in and use our studio on a regular or irregular basis. So really excited about that. One of the big challenges here, the room is about 20 by 40, maybe something like that, and so it's sheetrock walls and a tile floor, windows and a big door that's all window on one end, and then fortunately acoustical tile ceilings. Let me. I think I've got a shot of it here. Here is a shot looking looking over my shoulder. And so this is me. This is just a Logitech C920. You can see my work surface. Got a couple of monitors here, vMix on the left, chat room over here on the right, monitoring YouTube, and then I've got my audio mixer from vMix here, and then the monitor right here that you can't see is a second instance of vMix actually running on a separate computer, and that is doing the streaming and recording. So you can see the desktop. You can see to my right that we've got a movable wall divider, and for the moment I've just draped some moving blankets over it. To the right of that, right over here, you can see a moving blanket that's hanging from the ceiling. It's covering the plate glass window on the front of the room. And then this area right up here, right on the, well, you can't really see that. But on the other side, well, you can see a little light coming through right there. That's the light of the door right there. And then, of course, you can see all the light there in the walkway where the tile floor is, of where the light's coming in from the door. And so that's kind of the right side of the studio. You can see directly across from me, there's just a little table that we haven't figured out what to do with that. And on top of that table is a tripod, and that tripod is showing this shot. And so that's this shot. This is a PTZ Optics Z-Cam, the fixed lens type, and it's showing a shot basically here just to the left side of the studio. You can see that we've hung a couple of moving blankets, again, from the ceiling. We've got our green screen hung the same way from the grid ceiling. Apparently there are these little clips that you can get that fit perfectly into the grid ceiling, and so it makes it easy to hang things from the ceiling, and the ceiling's pretty. The ceiling is really pretty sturdy. I probably don't have that much weight on it, but maybe each blanket might weigh 5 or 10 pounds. You can see the Logitech right up there, and that's the one giving us the other view. Now, directly behind the curtain over there, at the very base, right down there, you can see a little kind of a tan board. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Right over there, and that is a piece of 2-inch thick fiberglass insulation board, like you would use here in the United States in ductwork. And it is wrapped with speaker cloth, and there are actually 2 of those, and they kind of make a V around the server rack where the 2 PCs are housed. And I might be able to grab that Logitech C920. Yeah, let's try that. I'm going to switch mics here and go to a lav mic. And so let's turn off the boom and go to the lav. Testing 1, 2, 3. This thing on? Okay. So, and we're going to unhook the take the earpieces out for just a second. And we are going to go up this ladder. Excuse me. And take down the Logitech C920 so we can use it as a mobile cam. There we go. And this will be a little bit of a joyride, so hang in there. And we'll cut over to the Logitech. And that's the desktop. You can see the other monitor that's monitoring the stream and the recording, and then the production PC here, and then everything else, and of course my X keys, and the PTZ Optics 12X, that's the studio camera, and then the other PTZ Optics Z-Cam on the other side, and then you can see a little boom arm right here where we probably will have that second PTZ Optics cam at some point. And then back off to the right, you can see the lights that are illuminating the green screen, and you can see the green screen hung from the ceiling as well as the big moving blanket hung from the ceiling. Now across the way, you can see a couple more room dividers, and I've just thrown a blanket across them really, really quickly. And then this, let's see if we can poke back here. We're just going to go. I thought about building a wall, but I decided a curtain would be significantly cheaper and would also allow a lot of flexibility. So let's see if we can go all the way around here. And you can see there's the rack for the moment, and there's just a couple of fiberglass panels that are providing a little bit of sound treatment. Apparently the culprit really is this lower rack mount PC. The power supply in it is very, very loud, and so we've got a new one on order and thinking that that might make a lot of difference. This is the assembly area. We've got a PC in work right now, and we've got space as the time goes on. But we try to figure out how to soundproof around this guy. We may build a little box and pipe some air conditioning in it. We'll just have to see. Don't want to get too far away because cording becomes an issue. You can see the modem down there at the bottom, and then we'll come back over around this way. And you can see that cable management really is my forte. Yep, little gigabit switch down there. And everything has to have power. Holy cow. Yes, lots of power. Let's see if we can step over this way a little bit. There we go. And you can see that the door, trying to block the door a little bit, we get a little street traffic noise there sometimes. So we're thinking if we can take one of these partitions and maybe equip it with some foam or with moving blanket that's cut down and put in where the louvers are now and stapled in as a way to try to resist some of the noise. Resist is probably not the right word. Basically try to mitigate some of that noise. So let's see, let's go back to another shot here. There we go. And yeah, no comments on the legs. That's really not called for. Okay. All right, so that's the lav mic, and we're going to switch back to the boom. There we go. And so that's a quick trip around the new studio. The challenges are reflection, really, of audio more than anything else. And on a regular work day, the street out here has got a pretty good population of traffic, including trucks, and so we're trying to figure out how to soundproof the front of the building to make it work a little better. We could have moved the studio to the back section and done the assembly, the PC assembly in the front section, but just didn't want to have folks walk through the PC assembly section to get to the back section. Trying to make, multi-use out of a small space. So we may, excuse me, we may do more with moving blankets. We may come in with, Dave Edwards suggested a different type of insulation. It may be that we have to throw up some temporary walls and put some insulation in that. Part of it is that we want to soundproof the room so that outside noise can't get in. And the other part is that we want to do sound treatment so that the noise that I produce doesn't produce that kind of room echo. And this is actually a lot better than it was before we had the blankets up, before we had the panels in. Martin Kay was saying, Tom, it's just a matter of making the sound not bounce back towards you. That's not exactly what he said, but he said, take stacks of cardboard boxes and point them different directions so that the sound reflects different ways. And if it looks ugly, throw a curtain over it, throw a blanket over it. And so we may get to that point, not sure. But it's a lot of fun to work with different materials, you know, the wood, the blankets, the fiberglass insulation, and then just recently brought in some foam board that we're going to try to put in some places to see. Might coat the let's see, let's go back here. See, we might coat the wood partitions with some foam and then wrap them in a fabric of some kind. We want it to be somewhat attractive, and again, the key is to find the right combination of materials and application of those materials to soundproof the room from outside noise, and then to be able to capture and redirect and absorb the sound that's coming up in here. Yeah, there we go. Michael Graves says diffusion. That's what we want. That's right. The floor-to-ceiling poles, Kenny, actually are from, I got them at a local paint store, but I think you can get them at a big box hardware store. They're by a company called Zipwall, Zipwall, and they are about $60 a piece. They weren't cheap, and they will go up to 10 feet. Right now they're set at 9 feet. Let me show you what we're talking about here. We'll go back to the Logitech for a second. And that's the Zipwall pole. It's a spring-loaded adjustable pole that just goes from floor to ceiling. And believe it or not, the drop ceiling is strong enough to take a little upward force from this pole to stay in place. And yeah, I think you can get them at Home Depot, maybe Lowe's, definitely Sherwin-Williams, which is where I got them. I've had those for a couple of years, and they're really handy and very flexible. They're not intended to hang anything from, but when you use the clamp lights like I do, you can just pull those anywhere. I had some extra fiberglass insulation board left over. Again, it was 2 inch thick, and I also had some commemorative T-shirts that I grew out of, and so I've wrapped the T-shirts around around chunks of the fiberglass, and I'm going to bring those in here and mount them up on the wall too. It was okay for a home studio. Whether it'll work for a professional studio or not remains to be seen. But yeah, you can get some panels with different colors and different artwork on them. So it does have that aesthetic appeal. We're working on that too. Vital says, seeing as you want it to be a professional studio, I would do what I suggested the other day, to make some diffusion panels in pleasing colors. Yeah, there we go. And it may be that we'll repurpose these boards right there with a wood frame and then a little bit of air backing on them, and then hang them, on the wall across from where we are right here, so that we get some good diffusion or absorption on that side wall. Fortunately, our neighbors, tenants to the north of us, are very quiet, as are our tenants to the south of us. So we'll hope that we keep good neighbors. You just never know. So acoustics and audio. As you heard, if you were here for the pre-show, we were testing a couple different mics. Currently, right this moment, I'm on an Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun mic, which is a condenser mic, and so you can probably hear the PC fan noise in the background. We solved that problem in the home studio by throwing the server rack in a closet, which got pretty warm for the PCs. The big PC that does all the heavy lifting is water-cooled and overclocked, so that was a good balance there. Currently now they're just sitting out in the middle of the room. I'm sure they're delighted to have as good an airflow as they have. but we may have to, in fact, I've ordered a new power supply for one of them that will be significantly quieter. At least I hope it will. We'll see. And that may be enough to get us by until we can figure out how to mount those in another room somewhere. It really is, four thoughts came to my mind at the same time. Audio is always important. Don't want to diminish that. In fact, I want to go the other direction, and I want to say it again. Audio is hugely important. Bad audio will drive people away from a show or an event or whatever quicker than bad video. If they can't hear, then what's the use of communicating? You know, if there are distractions in the background or the foreground, for that matter, to the audio, then many people will turn it off. I don't think, and you guys can probably tell me, if the fan noise that you hear now is a distraction. Is it something that would make you say, well, you know, I'll come back when he gets that fixed? Or is it marginally acceptable? I won't say acceptable because I don't think it is. I mean, I can hear it, and I don't like hearing it because I know if I can hear it, you can hear it. So that's a question. And then the other question becomes the quality of the audio. I like this particular mic. Dan says it's a minor irritation. Okay, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. That's really helpful. This particular mic is really sensitive. It picks up my keyboard clicks. You can hear that. And anytime I rattle around on the desk, you can hear that. And at one point, I guess we've got it around here somewhere, we had covered the desk with some felt and with chroma key green cloth, and we had fish swimming in it, supposedly. Rudy says that a DBX 286 S could remove some of that noise, and I agree. I think there are always ways to electronically fix the problem, but they really don't fix the problem. They just take away the symptoms. And I'm of the opinion that the best way to solve the problem is at the source of the problem. And if a fan is producing too much noise, then we either need to replace the fan or find a way to shield that noise. And then I don't have to do any processing. I think whenever you do processing, number one, you add a level of complexity to whatever your workflow is, and that complexity becomes just one more thing that might not work the way it's supposed to sometimes for whatever reason. Somebody else gets into the studio and adjusts a knob. A driver goes out of date. Windows makes an update that doesn't allow something to work the way it used to work. Those are the kinds of things that I'm trying to anticipate and solve by keeping things as simple as possible. Now, maybe it's because I'm just not really a really bright guy. A lot of folks are going, you're just now realizing that. But simple things are easier to troubleshoot when they go wrong, and they don't go wrong as often because they're simple. Complex things, I remember, in the days before vMix Call, when you had to take Skype and bring the audio from Skype in over a virtual audio cable and set up a mix minus, and then return audio to Skype via another virtual audio cable with a mix minus, and it really was a pain in the butt. And when vMix came out with vMix Call, and suddenly that was all done automatically in software behind you, and for me it was simple, that meant that it worked every single time. And I like those kinds of things that work every single time. Anyway, okay. We're going to close out the show at this point, and we'll go into the post-show. I've got a guest that's popping into the studio now, so I'm going to greet him, and you guys can greet him and meet him too. So let's see if we can make the closing work, and thank you for tuning in. All right, guys, so that's a wrap on the show. Let's find the post-show grid here. Yep. And Doug, you want to come around? Say hi to all the guys.
Where to? Oh, really?
We've got an international audience today. Doug is visiting in the studio. Here's the cam that I'm on, and you're wearing a green shirt, so you're gone. This is our vMix setup here for the production, and then another PC that's doing the streaming and recording, and then the chat room and monitoring the YouTube, and then the audio, and that's the setup. And so we talked a little bit during the show today about audio treatment in order to capture some of the audio from outside and keep it from coming inside, as well as to handle some of the audio that's here in the room, like the fan noise from the PCs and the reflection of my voice. So that's it. So we're getting some great suggestions. vMix will do a VST3 plug-in for audio, so it means you can do a lot of different things with each device, each audio device. But I like to fix things at the source. So, folks, thanks for tuning in today. We are going to go start our 4th of July holiday here, and we will see you next week at 3 o'clock Eastern for the next edition of Streaming Idiots. In the meantime, we didn't talk. This whole show is a giant infomercial. You remember that? We got to bring in the infomercial part. Hold on a second. Where's the infomercial? Doggone it. It's one of those things where here we go. Here we go. Okay, now the infomercial. Eastern Shore Broadcasting, my company, does build PCs for folks that want to use them as streaming, as well as provide, you can see in the background, the PTZ optics cameras, X keys, Magewell capture cards, Yuan capture cards. We've just picked up the Bird Dog TV line for the Bird Dog Studio and the new Bird Dog Mini that's coming out really, really soon. And so, of course, not the least of which, we represent vMix here in the United States. In fact, we're the #1 vMix reseller. So if we can help you with any of those products, and you say, well, Tom, wouldn't we pay more than that than if we got it straight from vMix or straight from PTZ Optics? The answer to that question is the prices are the same, sometimes better. Free shipping, yes, we do that. And plus, you get personal tech support from folks that actually use the products every day. So I say they, it's really just me, who use the products every day and I really know them inside and out. So would welcome you to come to our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, where you can, there it is right down there, where you can get more information on those products and services. We're delighted to help you in any way we can. Well, we're going to let the show run out at this point so that if it buffered a little bit from you somewhere, it won't leave you hanging. So until then, we'll see you next week.